What's good? Listen, this is my third time trying. I had one just deleted the last one and everything. I just didn't like it. So I would say this is like my first time. Y'all, this is my first time going live. I'm so nervous. No, this is my third time. And I'm still nervous. Still nervous, y'all. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Let's talk about Lovecraft Country. Season 1, Episode 1, Sundown. First off, y'all, when I tell you it is everything, is everything. When I tell you after the last frame, I was just sitting in my chair, just like, yo, I was bam fucking boozled. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. Oh, now listen, the last live I did, I started running in my mouth and I went and had a brain fart. Like what? 15 minutes in, and I was like, why I can't think of nothing else? I can't believe I just had a brain fart like that. So fuck, I'm finna delete it. And that's what I did. So forgive me, who was ever, watching the last one. But we're gonna try this again. First off, I want to give out some thanks. Thank you, Mark Ruff, for writing this book that this show is based off of. I would really like to know, how do you feel about something that you wrote being put to the celluloid? Now, I saw somewhere that the way you wrote it with the intention of you wanted it to be a TV series. So, excuse me, y'all. Seem like you got your wish. So, how you feel about it, brother? I'm just saying. How you feel? Thank you, Misha Green. She's the show creator and everything. Thank you, sis. Thank the hell out of you. Jordan Peele, I see you, my brother. You ain't disappointed me yet. Thank you. JJ Abrams. I like most of your work. A couple times I've been looking at you sideways, but thank you. HBO, thank you. Like the ancestors, thank you. Maybe thank you to Tula. I don't know, whatever. And thank you, Lovecraft, even though you was a racist ass bastard. Thank you for your imagination and all that shit, whatever. But anyway, let's get back. Now, I'm be real with y'all. When I did have some gripes, I had some doubts about this show. I ain't gonna lie. Even though I knew it was in capable hands, I still had some doubts, bruh. I think I was kind of worried about like how folks would react to this. Cause a lot of motherfuckers, they tired of the racial shit. But it's so ingrained into our goddamn culture and our history and everything, ain't got no choice. But the thing about it is folks wanna not believe that it's there. Well, if you don't talk about it, if you don't address it, guess what? It goes away. No, I'm sorry, it does not go away like the way that Trump thought that the coronavirus was gonna go away. No, you just don't do the genie head bopping thing. It's gonna motherfucking disappear. No, you gotta confront it. You gotta discuss it. You gotta talk about the shit. You heard me? But I was kind of skeptical. Cause I was wondering how it all was going to fit with the Eldritch monsters and dealing with the Jim Crow era, which if there was ever any piece of period of history that the Eldritch monsters would reign supreme, I would guess so. It would be the Jim Crow era, I guess. But with something like that, especially something of that magnitude, especially with this show dealing with the topics and the subject matter, I was just kind of scared that it was gonna be, I guess you could say, pretentious or just preachy. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe just show the same old shit over and over. But I released the doubt and I just went on and just went on. You know what? Just gonna let y'all do y'all thing. And it was everything. It was everything. The last 20 minutes had my anxiety acting the ass. I lost all doubt of the show being trash when the opening scene, when you see Atticus on the battlefield and while he's shooting and all that shit, the camera pans around and basically you see a scene that looks like one of them. You could probably read it from one of the 70s or them old school back in the day pulp fiction, science fiction novels. You see the UFO, the silver flying saucer and all that stuff. Everything is in bright ass technicolor. And there go Cthulhu, and he just flying, flapping his wings and everything, scooping up soldiers, and I'm like, why? Where's what? Cthulhu was in the Korean War. Oh, like for real? So trying to wonder like, well, how does that work? And then the main UFO, you see it, the bottom of it open the fuck up, and there's this bitch just floating out from the bottom of the UFO. And I'm like, why is the bitch floating from the bottom of the UFO? And she comes down and she's red. And I'm like, why is this red bitch floating from the UFO and shit? And it's a Asian chick. I can't think of her name, but I've seen her in so much shit. She got red skin and all that stuff. She got 28 inches and all. And she got her outfit, her swimwear was kind of giving me some sort of Beastmaster, Barbarella type tease or whatever. And she hugs him, but the way he looking at her like he know her. You get me? And so she speaks to him in an ancient language and all. And behind him, rising up, there go Cthulhu, and that's the money shot from the full trailer. It's the money shot from the full trailer. Oh, we see Cthulhu, motherfucker, rising up in his glory, hollering, roaring and shit. And guess what? He gets slain in half, cut in motherfucking half by who? Jackie Robinson, bitch. And I was like, oh, we doing it like that. Okay, all right, I have no doubts. Just go ahead. Go ahead. If this is how we're going to do it, go right ahead. And it was that scene that erased all my doubts. It was. It was a dream sequence, and it erased all my doubts. And to be honest, the way it went down, I could see some dreams being like that. Now I had some real crazy ass fucking dreams. I can see that. Now, Atticus wakes up. He's in the back of the bus. There's a lady across from him talking about, you all right over there? And we paying to see the front. They got the colors, the Negroes in the back. They got to go in the back of the bus. It's that time. It's that time of the era. And I don't know what Atticus did. I was like, bruh, did you jinx yourself or some shit? I don't know. But like, as soon as he flipped off the sign for Kentucky talking about fuck the Jim Crow shit, the bus broke down. Now, help did arrive, but I was like, nah, Atticus, don't try, baby. Don't try. That ain't for y'all. It ain't for y'all. And I could say this. A lot of the stuff that they show on this show, especially dealing with the segregation and just the overt display of motherfucker racism and all that stuff. Racism is easy as motherfucker breathing air for these motherfuckers. You don't know how many stories I done heard from my grandparents, even from my mom when she was young, and my uncle and all this stuff, talking about how shit went down, especially down here in Mississippi. So when I'm looking at the stuff, when I'm seeing the certain stuff, and also seeing about, the whole, I can't think of the correct term for the book, for the travel guide, but let's just say the Negro travel guide for safe passage. That's what I'm gonna give it, and all that stuff. Now, Uncle George, he's writing that, but it's based off a true thing. A brother did go across this fucking country in that time period, you know what I'm saying? Basically mapping out places for safe passage for, blacks back then. And when I think about it, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't never really thought about like Shit, how many close calls did you have? Talking about the brother who did that in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it was fleeting, the thought of it. But when you see with Uncle George and him writing down the notes, got them out, trying to make sure, people, blacks and all that stuff would know where to go, when to go, and mark down what sundown towns is and all that stuff. And you see the close calls that he has, especially in this first episode. You have to think, bruh, dude, you a superhero, bruh. Dude, the ancestors had your back, nigga. How many close calls did you endure? That's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now, Uncle George. Now, Uncle George, why it seems like Uncle George gonna keep getting lost through this whole damn season? It's just like I was like, will somebody please put a track on Uncle George? When I say that, I'm talking about the end. Cause I was like, where's Uncle George? Y'all done lost his ass again. Somebody put a track on his ass. But we see Uncle George who was played by Courtney B. Vance. I remember him from Law and Order days, bruh. And so, as we all know, he's the husband to the magnificent Marie Laveau, aka Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett. So his character, he in bed with his wife, with my girl, my skin folk, and I'm gonna say kin folk too, being that she is a Mississippian and all that stuff. Angelini, Lord, I don't fucked up her name, Jesus. Angelini Ellis. Yep, she plays his wife. They in bed and all that stuff like that, and you see them talking and all that. So it's that grown folk stuff. You heard me? That grown folk shit. That Saturday morning love and stuff. You heard me? But they talking back and forth, and I'm trying to remember. I think with her, I think she wants to like go with him when he travel and all that stuff like that, and be with him. Listen, I know every time Uncle George gets in that car, packs up, and leave, I know her nerves be raw. You just know that, dude. You just know that her nerves be raw. She be like, that's life or death, bruh. I'm quite sure she don't know if her husband coming back. Because that's a bullseye. All that melanin is a bullseye, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So that's him, try. They do their little love affair in the morning. And kin folk, talking about Angelique, she's like, we can't do nothing because the walls are thin and stuff like that. I said, girl, go get your man some loving and everything. I'm quite sure your baby done hurt worse. Lord. And the baby like, she was, baby's up in the room, probably try to watch some cartoons. Did they have cartoons back then? I'm quite sure Disney, Mickey Mouse or some shit. I don't know. But she's an artist in her own right. So she's drawing and stuff like that. Now, Atticus shows up and all. And, Atticus comes and basically he's looking for his dad. Now, there's one thing about with this show. It discusses what I want to say generational trauma. Abuse and how people dealt with it, especially black people dealt with it. We deal with that. Now, the father Atticus' father and all that stuff like that, further along in the episode, we learned about, he suffered abuse. And that the uncle said that, he was smaller, he couldn't protect himself, and I fucked up, and I should have protected him more. But the thing about it was that abuse became a generational curse, and it fell on Atticus. Atticus took the brunt of his father's anger and fury. It's a cycle, and I hope, through this season, I don't know how many seasons this show gonna get, but hopefully through this show, they'll be able to motherfucking eradicate the generational curse. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing with George and the dad, George and Atticus' father and all that stuff like that, and Atticus' mother. This is why I want to know what the hell went on, because when Atticus bring up that, Daddy, when Miss Daddy left me this letter and all that stuff, and this letter talking about a legacy and inheritance, if you will, and a family's birthright, and then bringing up about it's basically from his mother and all. The look of fear, because it was fear now, the look of fear on his face, on Uncle George. What's going on? What you know? You know something. You know something, bro. What exactly do you know? So I started side-eyeing Uncle George then. And so I'm trying to figure out, do you really know what happened to Atticus's mama? Because I think you do. Because let them tell it she's gone. I think you know what happened to Atticus's mama. Now, he gets this letter and basically tells what the father wrote him and all this stuff and things like that. Now, in this universe, the Lovecraft monsters are real. And there is this section of America they call Lovecraft Country. And you hear them talk about it. Now, Atticus, he's a nerd. He loves them Pulp Fiction books. He loves sci-fi. He loves all of that and everything. And from what I'm gathering, I think he done read all of Lovecraft's books. He probably know them back and forth to and fro. You know what I'm saying? And I think what it was I think he got that love for the sci-fi and probably appreciation of Lovecraft's work, even though he was a racist bastard. And if y'all know me, know my videos, I have reviewed on a couple of his shits. I tell you up front, he was a racist bitch. But I can't knock his craft. I cannot knock how he was one of the forefathers of, I'll say it, he's like one of the forefathers of American horror. I'll give him that. Cause from his work came all the greats we got. You know what I'm saying? He inspired so many writers, Now, them books, them stories that H.P. Lovecraft wrote, people like to say, that shit ain't real. He just based it off some weird shit that's happening in this town. But I think we're gonna see that no, it wasn't based off of, it was true events. It was very much true events. And you're gonna see that for sure. Now, he was saying how his dad tried to deter him from, I guess, reading Lovecraft or believing in science fiction or anything like that. So he basically had him read what was the creation of niggers? I think that's what it was. I guess to deter him from reading anymore or getting into ideas or getting these delusions. I guess what the father would think be delusional grandeur of his son, believing in all that type of craziness, being with monsters, adventures and all things like that. When, bruh, your whole life is a fucking adventure right now due to the fact that you black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing it's something to do with that. But maybe now, as I sit here right now and think about it, it might be a reason why he was deterring doing that to his son, deterring him from reading that shit because of the mama. And basically, like, if you read this stuff, I make you read the other shit and all that stuff, let you show how he truly was. Talking about H.P. Lovecraft and all that stuff, how he was a racist motherfucker and all that stuff. They'll deter you from reading it and deter you from maybe some kind of way that literature, which in this universe is true events, so it won't have a way to lure you. Maybe. But the way that letter wrote was, listen, bruh, you got a legacy. You need to come and you need to claim it. You know? So there's that. Now, when the uncle took the letter and put it under a magnifying glass, whatever, he was like, no, that's not Arkham, that's Artem. And I was like, are you sure? Or is you trying to pull a stunt? Is you trying to mislead him or some shit? That's what I was thinking. I'm not for sure. That's what I was thinking. I'm not for sure, you know. But there's that. Now, he wanted to go find out about, you know, when his daddy left and all that stuff like that. Now, he goes to a bar. One of the dudes in the bar, from what I'm gathering, I think that tall son bitch was a bully and used to bully that boy. Used to bully Atticus. And I bet you money, I'm going to tell you why he bullied him. Because the boy read motherfucking sci-fi shit. He read books. You know what I'm saying? And probably because he was smart and all that stuff, articulate and everything. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, in folks and niggas' ass and all that stuff, not all black folks, but, you know, some motherfuckers, they think, well, if you speak well, if you read, hell, if you read, to be honest, you think you more than me. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was along them lines and whatnot and everything. But, you know, whatever. So I went to go find the owner of the bar. Light bright owner of the bar was getting some head in the corner by another motherfucker and all that stuff about a brother. I said, oh, okay, so we doing that too? I like, all right, so you letting me know that, yep. It was a whole lot of download motherfuckers back then, but they had a choice. They ain't had no choice. They couldn't live their truth. Hell, motherfuckers still can't live their truth now. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And basically try to figure out like where his dad go, what happened. And you know, Lightbright was like, listen, some dude in this badass car, this nice car, it was a Ford. Man, you back then Ford was money. If you had a Ford, you had money. And it was silver, sparkly, yeah, money. And then, you know, Lightbright was like, it went fast. It went fast, yeah. Oh, so that was a whole lot of money. And so there's that. And we're going to see that silver car again for the long down the line in this darn episode. Now, he goes do that and all that. Now, I was looking around like, okay, all right, this is nice. Where's Journey? Where's Journey? Where's Journey? Where's Black Canary? Where my girl? Where is my girl? And my girl shows up, show out. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Journey is giving me all the fashions. Journey is giving me all the looks. I need that red lipstick. I really do. I need it. Give it here. I want it. It's mine. Now, the town, they're getting ready to have a block party. And baby, when they have a block party off the chain, they closing the streets down. The mugs barbecuing. They got live entertainment and all that stuff. Homegirl is motherfucking got that guitar going off, and I ain't gonna lie. I was looking like this. Hold up, is that Rosetta Stark. That's who that is. Is she playing Rosetta Stark? That's what I thought. I'm not for sure. And then so when I went on Twitter and they were basically saying, did y'all catch that shade that was thrown? Because Homegirl was like, okay, what else y'all want to hear? I know y'all don't want to hear all this lily white shit and all that stuff. And Journey's character, Letitia, was like, how about whatever song, shake a little something like that and all. So basically, like when I went on Twitter, they were saying, y'all caught that shade about they saying how Jerry Lewis stole the originator song, huh? He stole that song from a black woman. I like, no, for real, y'all, for real. But hell, child, ain't that what they did back then, though? Ain't that what they did back then, though? So there is that. And Journey, she sung her ass off, and they was doing it what it do. They was doing what they do. Now they getting ready to hit that road. Now, the uncle, he gotta go work on the book. He gotta go make more stops on the map and all, and the uncle was goddamn superhero, bruh. I'm really, for real, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, you riding these back roads, cause not highways, is back roads through all these towns across this fucking nation, writing down what would be a safe haven and what's not. Now that's back then before telephones was in cars, before what's the social media, Facebook, what is that? Camera on phones, bruh, is you an alien? You get what I'm saying? You don't have none of that kind of security, especially with a camera phone. Like some form of motherfucking security. You don't have that. Risk your life to make a map, to make a guide. Back then, I'm still tripping off of it. Now they show them traveling, and they hit one spot, and they basically going up into this cafe, and now they walk in the cafe and all that stuff. White folks looking at them like, I know they goddamn niggas ain't these. You just walk up in the front. You just you gonna sit down. Oh, you sitting your black ass down. You're really sitting your black ass on these seats like you somebody. Like you somebody. And everything, even though your clothes look better than mine. But that. And the thing about, so the older cat, he leaves, and the waiter right there, he's there. He nervous as the hell. He's scared as the hell. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel kind of bad for him. I do. I feel kind of bad for him because the way he acts, he seemed to know that it's wrong. But I guess he had that fear of being retaliated against or not, because you hear it. Now, when Lady Letitia, she goes in the back, use the bathroom. She comes back from the bathroom and hears the waiter talking, talking to whoever on the phone. I guess the round 'em up crew and all that stuff like that. And he no, I didn't serve him. I didn't serve him. I ain't do it ever since what happened with ever since what y'all did to Miss Lydia. And I'm like, what happened to Miss Lydia? So he had fear. Now, you get a little history lesson, a little tidbit of history. Atticus says, tell me what happened to the White House. Because he's looking at the walls, and the walls are white. How the White House became the White House, right? And Uncle George tell the story, he got fucked up, slaves, rebuild it, whatever, and all that stuff. Painted white to basically cover the burnt marks. And Atticus move a towel, and you see the wood burn. And baby, when I tell you, I started hollering, laughing. Letitia ran out there. We gotta get the fuck out of here now, fucking now, bitch. I'm like, bitch. Letitia was running knee to chest, bruh. Knee to damn chest. It was fucking hilarious. I said, Letitia said, if y'all ain't up in this car when I hit this corner, y'all gonna be some left Negroes. That's just all it is. I'm finna leave off and leave your asses. Not really, but I'm gonna make you think that I left your ass. So they get in that car, and baby, it's a car race. And I was like, Letitia, drive, bitch. Drive, girl. Put your feet to the belly. And it's a car chase. The roundabout boys, they got them shotguns. They up in the truck and all that stuff. Atticus had a pistol and all that stuff. They bang or whatever. And Letitia see a car from the side. It's a silver car. Atticus sees it too. And so they find a way when the two roads meet, because they on one side of this cornfield and there's the car coming on the other side. So when Letitia motherfucker cuts in front of the car, it basically saves them. But here's the thing, and I didn't notice it until they showed a quick little trailer right after I watched the first episode again. The truck, it made contact, but it didn't make contact to the car. It was a force field in front of that car. And that's when the truck got demolished and, them dead bodies. And then we see the first pale-haired bitch. Remember I said in that last review, I said they look inbred. Because they all blonde, they all pale blue hair, no pigmentation, nothing like that, but they're inbred. We see her. She come out the car and she's looking. First time. Now, when they leave there, they head to Letitia's family house. Her brother is there. And so they talking and exchanging notes and all that stuff. Because you got to remember, this is like a network. You know what I'm saying? So they let you know what happening, like in the town, who's the sheriff and who's this, who that, and all that stuff. It has to be a network. Because one person can't just put all that valuable information by itself. You got to have a team. And it's all about self-preservation. You know what I'm saying? So, you got that. Now, here's one of the things. Now, we see there is some strife going on between Letitia and her brother, especially dealing with her mom and all that stuff like that. And we see that Atticus called over there from where he left, over there in Korea. And Atticus, I think Atticus left for woman over there. And I'm thinking it's the woman, the red bitch that I saw fly, float out from the UFO. That's who it was. And I bet you money he probably left the kid. So there go his thought of his generational curse. You know what I'm saying? You left somebody over there. And you could tell when she said you went home. And she like, you shouldn't have. And all. Now, Uncle George, he talks to the wife and all that stuff. Uncle George like, guess what? When I come back, next time we go back out, guess what? I'm going to have you roll with me. And you can see like the joy on homegirl, on kinfolk's face and stuff. So she's like happy and all. But I got a question. So he gets off the phone. I got a question. Now, he opened his wallet and he pulls out a picture. That don't look nothing like his wife. Harpo, who that woman? Who's that woman, Harpo? Why I got a sneaky suspicion that woman is Atticus's mother? Why I got a sneaky suspicion that I think Uncle George also loved it the dud Atticus mama too. So another question: is Uncle George is Atticus's father? What? I'm just asking. Listen, I got questions. I'm just saying it looks or is that, or he had a kid? Was the girl up in his wallet? Was that his kid? He got another kid. He got an outside child. Is that a picture of an outside child? An older outside child, Uncle George? Now I would say, did you tell your wife about the other child? But trust the plus, I'm quite sure she already know. Cause they tends to know. You know, the main ones tends to know about the other families and the outside kids. Now, you see Atticus outside and you hear Letitia and the brother arguing. Going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yes, tension. Yes, some hate between them and all this stuff like that. But it's not the hate. It's different types of hate. You got that for family hate and all that stuff. That family hate runs different. It hurts differently. Now, you could see Atticus want to go in there, but you know, he restrains himself, whatever. Now, you know, George come out and they talk and they give a little bit of family history, basically saying, you know, abuse runs. You know, he said that, you know, Atticus' father was the smallest. And so he always felt guilty that he didn't protect his brother like he should. And Atticus was like, well, hell, you didn't protect me like you should. So how should I feel about that? And that sucker punched the hell out of Uncle George. You know, they got Uncle George real good in the gut. And now you hear the argument outside getting louder, getting more vicious. And Atticus getting ready to go in there and stop it. Now, Uncle George said, that's family business, that's their business. We don't mess with that. Here's that thing with that. I just shook my head at that because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times, especially in black families, there's this thing like you don't butt in other folks' business. You don't do that. It's like a double-edged sword. Like if you step in, maybe you could prevent the worst to happen. It's a good chance that you probably can. But it's the other side of that coin, like now if you step in, you probably make it worse. You know what I'm saying? Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Now, they get ready to leave. And you know, they leave. You know, I don't think Letitia coming back to her brother's place. She probably said, you know, kiss my ass, fuck you, and fuck your mama. I know she was my mama too and everything, but she was a bitch. So there's that. I would like to know what happened. Like, why the relationship between her and her mama just wasn't copacetic. You know what I'm saying? I would really like to know that. Now, they gone, they driving and all that stuff, and they, putting shit on the map, and they trying to figure out, they trying to get to Arnold, that city, that town that I think the uncle was trying to pull a stunt. They pull off to the side, pull out to the side, they in the woods and all that stuff, and then a cop car pull up behind them. That's all here. And the cop shows up, you tell he's a bitch, and the cop was like, do you know what a sundown, what sundown town means and all that stuff like that? Listen, yeah, we already know, we got it, we know what it is. But guess what? There's also sundown counties. Yes, there is. There's sundown counties. And guess what? They in one. And apparently sundown hits very quick and fast where they at. And he said, you got 7 minutes. or y'all gonna be hanging from trees. And I was like, here we go. But guess what? You can't speed or I'm gonna pull you over. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I probably would have got in the car and everything, accidentally ran over your fucking ass, but I'll probably be dead hanging from the tree the next morning. But I'm like, you's a bitch. They asked me, did you regret it? No, I ain't did. I ain't regret it. Ain't no telling how many of my kinfolk, my skin folk, he got lined up hanging up from the trees up here. So I did it for them. I did it for them. Now, when they make it past that county line, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh Lord, oh Jesus. Now, mind you, this in the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes is crazy. The last 20 minutes is crazy. This one had my anxiety going up the fucking roof, bitch. I thought, ooh, they made it past that motherfucking railroad. They in Winchester County. Whoo! They made it. Good little bit down the road. Cops, the motherfucker, blocked the street, blocked the road. I said, ain't this about a bitch? I knew. I knew it wasn't gonna go right. Next thing you know, they getting pushed, shoved in the woods. And I was like, oh Lord, they finna die. Now I know they can't die because it's the first episode and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I still felt like they were gonna die. Now, mind you, before the sheriff showed up a few minutes back, Atticus was saying something about, creature in the woods and all that stuff. There might be a shoot off and stuff like that. And I'm like, a shoot off? What is that? Lovecraft. And so, what met them in the woods in the night? Apparently, that's what Atticus said that was. Now, before the animals started ripping through them bitch ass cops, bro, they go push them down to the ground, talk shit and all that stuff. And here they go pulling the whole, what happened, about the robberies and all that stuff. Which probably if they have teenage sons, their sons probably did that shit and all that stuff like that, right? They gonna pin these crimes on these niggers and stuff like that. And kill them and all that shit like that, probably kill Atticus and all that stuff, Uncle George and everything, and they probably do worse to motherfucking Journey and all that shit like that. Pin shit that they ain't never did. The motherfuckers ain't been in no town trying to do whatever. You know that, but you don't care. So when somebody made a noise, shot that shotgun, next thing you know, a arm with a flashlight attached to it hit the damn ground. Apparently the monsters, the Shoogoffs, decide that, well, it's dinner time, dinner, chicken dinner, and those motherfuckers went off. When I tell you, Atticus and Journey, them niggas were running. I'm like, Journey, girl, how is you running in the woods with them slick bottom sandals? You can't tell me them ain't slick bottom sandals, girl. Them slick bottom sandals got perfect grip on that dirt, on the pine straws, and everything. When I tell you them mugs was need a chest running, bro. Through all of that, I was like, where is Uncle George? Uncle George still laying down, probably playing dead until he lifted his head up, looking around like, all right, let me go. Let me snatch this light from your arm, bro. And let me tiptoe through this motherfucker. And that's what happened. Now, they find a way. They make it to a cabin. They find a cabin in the woods. And I ain't gonna lie. That cabin kind of looked like the cabin from Evil Dead. It kind of did. It gave me Evil Dead tease. Now, two of the cops survived. One, he was scary. Listen, I think he probably pissed the shit on himself a couple times. And the other one that survived was that bitch ass sheriff. But all one side of his body fucked up. Apparently, the monster took a chunk out of his shoulder and all that stuff like that. And they trying like, where's George? Where Uncle George? And this is why I keep saying, listen, Uncle George, you stay getting lost, bro. In the woods, you need a tracker. So Uncle George show up. He with the flashlight, and he puts two and two together and said, listen, these fools don't like light. They do not like light. Talking about the monsters. And so they got their little tidbit of knowledge. Now, the sheriff, the one that got bit, right? He starts changing. He start morphing into another one of the monsters. And I was like, so if you get bit, you turn into another monster? I like, shit. But don't get bit. Now, oh. So let's just say if Atticus get bit by one of these monsters, but he don't turn. Is that part of his inheritance? I wonder if that part of his inheritance. I really want to know what's up in his bloodline. And he's like, what's up? What's it all about and shit? So they got to deal with that mess, right? Now, before Homeboy start shifting, they was like, listen, they got flares in the car and all that stuff like that. So somebody need to go get them flares. So it's Letitia. Letitia got to run them woods with them slick bottle sounds and go get the goddamn car and get them flares out of there. So she tell Atticus, listen, I can do it and everything. I ran track. I'm fast. And so that's what homegirl does. Need a chest, she haul ass, and she runs fast. In the woods, bro. In the woods. She listen, them shoes skidded a few times and all that stuff. Couple of them monsters, they tried to get her. But as soon as she flick on them lights, them motherfuckers go underground. They cannot stand light. So they won't be out in the sun, huh? It's always sundown. Okay. So I just thought of that, y'all. I'm like, oh shit. So during that time while she trying to get to the car and all that stuff, the sheriff, he shifts and all that stuff. And Journey comes with the car, runs it straight through the goddamn house, child, and all that stuff. And they fighting. They got flares going around and all that stuff. And they main thing is they gotta survive to dawn. Now it looked like that wasn't gonna happen. But then you hear something in the background and they leave. So all the monsters gone. And now it's daytime. You see them walking. Boy, they looking rough. Jesus Christ, they looking so rough. And I'm like, where's y'all's car? How y'all gonna get around? Next thing you know, there's a mansion. They look at each other, get to the mansion, knock on the door. Really, they ain't knock on the door. The door opens. And it's this white dude, blonde and all that stuff. And he like, welcome, Mr. Freeman. We were waiting on you. And that's how the show is, bruh. Y'all. This show is everything, y'all. God damn it. It's everything. It's just everything. Now, here's my question. Being that y'all showed us Cthulhu in basically in the first 30 seconds and all the stuff, who's gonna be the real big bad? Bad. Like for real. Who you gonna show? Cause we saw Cthulhu in the first 30 seconds, like who gonna be the real big bad? Azathoth, Niggeroth, Narcolatep. I'm like, which big bad y'all gonna show? But either way, it was gonna be like what the real big bad, the real big monsters is humans and shit. I don't know, but I'm ready for it. Y'all knock this out the park. This is a 10, bitch. It is a freaking fracking 10. It's everything. It is everything. It's everything, y'all. I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. But listen, y'all, that's it. That's it. This is my first, second, third live. Well, as y'all remember from the beginning. Yep. This is my first live. So I was kind of nervous and all that stuff. I just started running my trap and that was it. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about the show down below. Do y'all have any questions? Now, in my chat, I'm looking. I don't see any comments or nothing like that, but ain't really nobody here or whatnot. But let me know how y'all feel. Let me know what y'all thought about it, how y'all felt about it. Like, are y'all amped for the rest of the season? What do you think this inheritance that Atticus and them, Atticus, what's his birthright? What you think it got to do with? Does he have powers? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if he could really control them fucking monsters? See, that's just me asking. I'm just asking these questions, because I'm like, okay, well, what's what? Like, what's going on? Like, I needs to know now. What about the mama? And then was Uncle George in love with Atticus' mama too? Is Uncle George Atticus' dad? Listen, bruh. We could talk, y'all could say nowadays about how, young people, they ain't up a bunch of whores and all that stuff, riffraff and all that stuff. All the outside kids, secret kids, and all that shit. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I done heard the stories of the old heads back in the day. We ain't got shit on them. You hear me? We do not have shit on the shenanigans and fuck ups that they did back in the day. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's what. I know they're gonna explain it. Like, what was the deal with like Atticus's mama and stuff like that? Because the way Uncle George looked, that was fear. That was fear. And I bet you money Uncle George know what really happened to, his mom. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know. Oh my God. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. I'm here for all of it. I want to see how they're going to handle now, back in the day, during that time, I'm gonna be like this. If I don't see a fucking root worker, if I don't see a conjurer, I'm gonna feel some kind of fucking way. I really am. I'm gonna feel some kind of way. And I think they got one. But I'm gonna see. Cause root work, conjure, and all that stuff, that was very much integrated in that era. Very much so. So I better see something like that. I better see a conjure. I better see a root worker. I better see a doctor. So yeah, I want to see how y'all gonna handle that. Who gonna be the big monster? Like, we don't say Cthulhu. Like, who else? I got so many questions, but this was amazing. This was amazing, y'all. And this is like my second or third time watching it. I got it playing in the background. I can't wait. When it's over, I'm buying the DVD and everything. I got to. I really got to. HBO, you showing your ass, bruh. Go ahead. I had fun. Y'all heathens be good. Y'all be grand.